Hello, everyone, and welcome to Simply Explained English. My name is Sara, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. In this episode, we are going to practice answering some of the most common questions in English. Today, our topic is a very exciting one: travel and holidays. Our method is very simple and very effective. It's called shadowing. I will ask a question, and then I will give you 3 possible answers. After each answer, try to copy my pronunciation and speed. Don't worry about being perfect. The most important thing is to practice speaking. Are you ready? Let's begin. Our first question is, do you like traveling? If you are very enthusiastic about it, you can say, yes, I love it. I try to travel as often as I can. If you enjoy it, but maybe you don't have much time, you can say, I like it, but I don't get to travel very often. If you are not a big fan of traveling, you can honestly say, I actually prefer staying at home. I find traveling a bit stressful. Next question. Where did you go on your last vacation? You can mention the country and who you went with. I went to Italy with my family. If your trip was short and local, you could say, my last vacation was just a short trip to the mountains. If you had a staycation, which means a vacation at home, you can say, I didn't go anywhere special, I just relaxed at home. And now, what's your favorite type of vacation? If you love the sea and sun, you can say, I love beach holidays where I can just relax and swim. If you prefer visiting new cities, you can say, my favorite is a city break. I enjoy visiting museums and cafes. If you like exciting and physical activities, this is a great answer. I'm a big fan of adventure holidays, like hiking or skiing. Let's move on. Do you prefer relaxing on a beach or exploring a city? If you are an active traveler who likes to see new things, you can say, I definitely prefer exploring a city. If you just want to rest and do nothing, this is your answer. Relaxing on a beach is much better for me. If you enjoy both experiences, you can say, I like a good balance of both, actually. Here's another good question. What's the most beautiful place you've ever visited? You can name a specific region known for its nature, like the most beautiful place was probably the Swiss Alps. To talk about a beautiful tropical place, you might say, I think the coast of Thailand is the most beautiful place I've seen. If it's very difficult to choose just one, you can start like this. That's a hard question, but I loved the Grand Canyon. Okay, next. Are you planning any trips for this year? If you have a definite plan, you can share it. Yes, I'm planning to visit Spain in the summer. If you want to travel but don't have details yet, you can say, I don't have any firm plans yet, but I hope to go somewhere. If you are not traveling, you can explain the reason. No, I'm staying home this year to save money. Next question. Do you prefer to travel alone or with other people? If you enjoy sharing the experience with others, you can say, I always prefer traveling with my friends or family. If you like being independent and making your own plans, you can say, I enjoy traveling alone because I have more freedom. If it changes depending on the situation, you can say, it depends on the trip, but I usually travel with my partner. All right, and how do you usually travel? For long distances, you can say, for long distances, I always take a plane. If you prefer ground travel for comfort, you can say, I prefer traveling by train. It's more comfortable. For shorter regional trips, you might say, we usually drive our car if the destination isn't too far. Here's a fun one. What's your dream destination? You can name a specific country you've always wanted to see. My dream is to go to Japan one day. To talk about a specific natural event, you could say, I would love to see the northern lights in Iceland. To use this phrase to show a very strong wish, my dream destination is definitely Australia. Next, what do you always pack in your suitcase? If you pack for your hobbies, you can say, I always pack a good book and my camera. To mention practical items for comfort, you can say, I never forget my headphones and a comfortable pair of shoes. If you are very prepared for safety, you can say, the most important thing for me is a first aid kit. Let's move on. Have you ever been camping? If you do it regularly and enjoy it, you can say, yes, I go camping almost every summer. I love it. If you tried it but did not enjoy it, you can say, I tried it once, but it wasn't really for me. If you have no experience but are open to it, you can say, "No, I've never been camping, but I'd like to try." And what about food? Do you like trying local food when you travel? If you are very enthusiastic about new food, you can say, "Absolutely. Trying local food is my favorite part of traveling." If you are a careful eater and prefer familiar food, you can say, "I'm a bit of a picky eater, so I usually stick to food I know." If you are somewhere in the middle, you can say, "I like to try some local dishes." All right, next question. What was the best hotel you've ever stayed in? To describe a nice, simple hotel with a great feature, you can say, "The best one was a small hotel in Greece with a sea view." If you stayed somewhere very expensive and impressive, you can say, "I once stayed in a luxury hotel in Dubai. It was amazing." If you prefer alternatives to hotels, you can say, "I prefer staying in Airbnbs. They feel more like home." All right, next, do you prefer summer or winter vacations? If you are a sun lover, you can say, "I'm definitely a summer person. I love the sun and the beach." If you prefer colder weather activities, you can say, "I prefer winter vacations so I can go skiing." If the season doesn't matter to you, you can say, "I don't mind the season as long as I can travel." Here's another question. What activities do you like to do on holiday? If you enjoy culture and history, you can say, "I like sightseeing and visiting historical places." If your main goal is to rest, you can say, "I just want to relax, read books, and swim." If you enjoy more casual, fun activities, you can say, "I enjoy shopping for souvenirs and trying new restaurants." Okay, and this is a nervous one. Have you ever missed a flight? If you are always on time and have never had this problem, you can say, "No, thankfully, I've never missed a flight." If it happened to you, you can share the experience like this. "Yes, it happened once. It was very stressful." To describe a moment where you were almost late, you can say, "I almost missed one, but I ran to the gate just in time." Let's talk about good things. What's your favorite travel memory? You can describe a unique and beautiful experience. My favorite memory is watching the sunrise from a hot air balloon. To talk about an amazing animal interaction, you could say, "I'll never forget swimming with dolphins in Mexico." To show that simple moments can be the most special, you can say, A simple dinner with my family by the sea in Italy is my best memory. Next question. Do you like package holidays or planning your own trip? If you like things to be easy and organized for you, you can say, I prefer package holidays because everything is organized for me. If you prefer control and independence, you can say, I always plan my own trips. It's more flexible and fun. If you see the benefits of both types, you can say, I've done both, and they both have good and bad points. What about this one? What's the longest journey you've ever been on? You can state the mode of transport and the duration. The longest was a 14-hour flight to Argentina. Here's another example using a train. I once took a train for 30 hours across Russia. Even a bus ride can be a very long journey. I think my longest journey was a 10-hour bus ride. And when you travel, do you speak the local language? If you make an effort to learn the basics, you can say, I try to learn basic phrases like hello and thank you. If you rely on a more common language, you can say, I'm not very good at it, so I usually just use English. If you already know a language that is useful in many places, you can say, yes, I speak Spanish, so it's easy when I travel to Spain or Mexico. Here's a big one. What's your favorite city in the world? You can name a city and give a simple reason why. My favorite city has to be Rome. The history is incredible. Here is another example with a different reason. I absolutely fell in love with Kyoto in Japan. This is a very popular and classic answer. I think Paris is my favorite. It's so romantic. Next, do you like taking a lot of photos on vacation? If you are a big photographer, you can say, yes, I take hundreds of photos. I love capturing the memories. If you prefer to just enjoy the moment, you can say, I prefer to enjoy the moment, so I only take a few pictures. If you want to take photos but aren't very good at remembering, you can say, I try to take photos, but I always forget my camera. All right, next question. What's a place in your country that you recommend? You can suggest a famous and unique region. You should definitely visit Cappadocia. It's unique. To recommend a general type of area, you can say, I would recommend the beaches on the Aegean coast. You can also recommend the most famous city. Everyone should see the historical sites in Rome. Now, let's move on. Have you ever had a bad travel experience? You can share a common but unfortunate travel problem. Yes, I lost my luggage once. It was terrible. This is another unfortunate experience that can ruin a trip. I got very sick on a trip, so I stayed in the hotel the whole time. If you have been fortunate, you can say, no, I've been lucky. All my trips have been great. And our final question, where are you going for your next vacation? If you have an idea but are not 100% sure, you can say, I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking about going to Portugal. If you have a clear plan to see a person, you can state it. My next trip will be to London to visit my sister. If you have no plans at all, you can say this. I haven't decided where to go next. I'm open to suggestions. And that brings us to the end of our practice session for today. We have covered 25 of the most common questions in English about travel. Fantastic work. Remember, the goal is not to memorize every answer, but to get comfortable with the different ways you can respond. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. Thank you so much for joining me, Sarah, on Simply Explained English. Keep up the amazing work, and I look forward to practicing with you again in the next episode. Goodbye!